God bless everyone. This is something that is very hard to understand unless you've been through it yourself. I want to lay the fact out that God's will is not always what you think is the happiest for you. God's will, a lot of times, is for us to go through pain. There's always an intended result. And this will be hard for someone to understand unless they've lost something close to them. Unless you've lost a son or a daughter. Unless you've lost something close to you. And you knew you was doing your best to live for God. Yeah, you stumbled and fell, but I'm talking about you loved God. If you ever lost something so dear to you that you thought, surely that's not God's will. Well, I'm here to tell you that I have learned many things have happened that have been painful in my life that were God's will. God's will is sovereign. His will is always sovereign. It got me to thinking about this with my children. I came to a place that I did not even want to. I wanted to see them, I loved them, but I didn't want to deal with this family. It was easier mentally to let them go because I didn't want to deal with these people. For about a month, God dealt with me to go ahead and file and get your rights back. And for one thing, it was attached to a drug test. And I told y'all that it's a fingernail follicle test. And for 2 years, if you mess up 3 or 4 times, that's 2 years I'm seeing them at the kids center. So the thing was, I was tormented in my mind. The devil was telling me you're not going to ever quit. My main goal was getting that out of my life. But it made it worse when your kids were attached to it. That much more pain because you love them so much, and you know that people know who you really are, that you're a good man, that you love God. But the court system don't look at things that way. So I had peace. I'll see them when they get older, because I didn't know when God was going to deliver me. I didn't know. It could have took 5 more years. I didn't live in it, but it would happen every 3 months, 4 months, every 6 months, whatever. In this test, you start all the way over. So the only peace I had is to let go of my children and give them to God, because I realized something. What can I do to change myself, Lord? What can I do? I'm doing the best I can. What can I do to change me? You can do nothing to change your inward side. But the thing about, as a child of God, it hurts. Sin will hurt you if you're saved. It hurts. You don't want to fail God. You have to somehow believe God in the middle of this mess. That was the hardest trial of my life. The drinking, I told you I've been through that for 5 years. That was the same way. But it ended 5 years ago. And what I'm saying is, now that I find out, okay, the test is passed. God delivered me, but I had to first give my children to Him. And unless you've been in this, you have to be in my mind the torment I was feeling. I had to give my kids to God and say, Lord, whether I ever see them again or not, I praise you, you're in control, your will be done. Because I knew it was out of my hands. I knew that this test had me stuck and they was using it to their advantage. But when I gave my kids up to God, it ended. It's been over a year now. Thing is, I still was not going to get them back because I did not want to deal all the things. I'm not even going to say all the different things that happened. From the outside, you'd have to know me personally. You'd have to know me to get the truth. But the lies have all come out now. I've always told the truth. I'm not a hypocrite. If I struggle with something, I struggle with something. God forbid, every one of us struggle with something and have in our lives. It's part of growing up in the Lord, and He'll use it to test your faith. But it's evil and it hurts. Well, now I'm in another dilemma. I have to have peace somehow. I got two more months to court. We contacted her lawyer. She's not letting me see the kids. Whenever I seen it was a 4-month court date, because it's already been, back that time, 7 months. So she ran from the subpoena. Then I had to get a lawyer to contact her lawyer, and now he don't want to talk. So they're going to try to fight me, even though I passed the test. Still going to try to fight and try to make up some stupid crap like he didn't see him for 7 months. It's bad on the kid's mind. See what I'm saying? Evil people. And here's, I don't want to talk about that. Here's the thing. Here's my mindset. I'm going into a mode of, I thought it was that simple. Just pass the test, get your kids back. But no, they're going to come and try to twist it around on me again, because that's not working anymore. And not let me see them at the kids center. I already know what they're going to say. They're going to say she didn't want to bring them because I hadn't seen them in 7 months, and in their minds it was mentally. Well, what about all the times I tried to call them, tell them to call me? I didn't have the money to go. Call me. It ain't free. It's $100. Call me. Trying nothing. Reaching out, trying to call every family member I knew of hers to say, please tell the kids to call me. None of that. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it. And I already know the heart of this family. I already know. But the thing is, I'm sitting there wondering, could God allow, would it be His will for me not to get them back? What you would say is a quick yes. Yes, that's God's will. See, I've been through some things that God allowed in my life to grow me more. And you wouldn't think it was God's will. But it was, because it has produced a lot of different things in me because of the fight. It's let me a desperation for Him and let me know I'm nothing and He's everything. It's made me who I am today. Through the struggle of life, the fight is to keep believing God through it all. Never give up on Him. Never. So, today, the enemy's, my lawyer told me this, the enemy's coming at me, you're not going to get your kids. See, I already had peace about not seeing them though. But now, since I'm getting them back, well, now it hurts again. My mind's not prepared no more. Because I want them back. And of course, we all should want our kids back. But I've learned something. Don't never say you know what God's will is. If it's His will, they twist this thing around. The judge say, yeah, it's better for them because you're traumatizing their mind, not knowing that I have been trying to call, touch with them and all this stuff, and how it's turned around on me. It could happen. So I have to come back to the place again of, Lord, your will be done. See, we think we know God's will is always going to be a big happy moment. But it is God's will that we go through pain in this life. He said, you shall have tribulation, persecutions, manifold temptations. You shall have trouble. But he said, take heart, I have overcome. If we keep our faith in him, no matter the pain, you will come through on top. This is more about you and God than it is about you and your kids, you and your husband. It is about you and God. And I know this is something he's called me to walk through. And I think it's probably because I'm called to preach. And I'm going to tell you something. It's done something in me to where I understand a lot more things now. I do believe, personally, I do believe the judge is going to get ticked and it's not going to go that way. I believe it's going to work out. But in my mind, see, I'm not going to go back and forth for 2 months wondering, is this, is that, the devil lying to me, torment me for 2 months. I'm not going to do that. I've done learned to say, Lord, your will be done. You know what he didn't? You know what the devil told me then? They're gonna think they won. They're gonna think they won. If that, just say it happened. They're gonna think they won, and then there's two groups of people here. You got me, love God, love my kids, was falling and messing up. You got a family that she cheated on me, hid it. Called her, hid my kids, all kind of crap. Put me in jail 5 times. Okay. The thing is, you would think there's no way they could win. God would not allow them to do this to you forever and ever. You have passed the test. You've passed the drug. It's simple. You get your kids back. So y'all don't understand something. I've done learned about trials. We have to come to a place where we say, Lord, whatever it is, your will be done. How many people have lost children to death? And God has allowed it. How many times have I heard testimonies of the people draw close to God and it was the best thing that ever happened to them? How many times have I heard them stories? It makes you desperate for Jesus. Because in the middle of that pain, he's all you got. He's all you got. You have a husband, you have a wife. But the one that's going to be with you till the end is Jesus Christ. Till the end is Jesus Christ. He's the one. So, I'm giving y'all these attacks I'm going through because this is really a testimony of how to handle something like this. You have to understand something. God's will is that Christ be formed in you. He wants you to have a strong faith. He wants you to put nothing before him. And if you really love God and are desperate for God, he will do whatever he's got to do to get that out of you. To get you where you need to be for him. Even though it be painful at times, you will look back and thank God you went through what you went through. See, I have said many times, I thank God even though it looks like it's all my fault. See, the pain that I went through for 2 years with this, I thank God I went through it. Because I gained things from it. It was such pain I had to give my children to the Lord. But the old lie of the devil, they're going to think they won. Well, see, there's a thing right there that the Lord wants out of me. Why do I care what people think? I thought I didn't care. And I tell you, I don't care. But when it comes to someone that's hurting you, you want them to lose. The devil's using them. It drew something out of me. Just now, it just drew something out of me. I don't want to lose. But it's not that I don't want to lose. It's selfishness. I know you can't see it. I know you can't see it. But the thing is, I know what God's showing me, what's drawing out of me. I got to be like, no matter what, your will be done. I don't care what these people think about me. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they do. I got to get like that. See, God's will be done. But I am prepared for what happened to Job's children. They all died. Every family member he had died. So don't tell me it's God's will for it to be all great and glory. It is in the end of what the desired, where he's taken you to, yes, but there'll be stuff you walk through that bring you to the end of yourselves that will change and mold you and make you different. But in the end, he said, I have an expected end for you to bless you. But we need to understand we walk through these seasons of our lives, and the Lord will allow people to overtake you, to lie on you, to take your children from you. And then you know that the thing is, you can't justify sin, because I know it was my own sin. But I know who I am. I know my children were my life. And I know how much it hurt me. But anyways, so now, here's what the devil's doing now. This lawyer that contacted her, she subpoenaed, she's still not picking the subpoena up. She still decided she's not going to bring him to see me at the kids center, which she'll be in contempt. They're going to swing, they're going to do something, I guarantee you. They're going to do something to come to court and fight me even after I've passed this test. So, when it's an attack of the devil, when it's a trial, okay, that's that, okay? And normally, it's stupid to even worry about that. Because the legal system, there's no way you're not going to get them back. You pass the test. That's what the order says. But see, when it's a trial, and it's God sent, he will allow the devil to lie to you to a stronger degree, and the lies are strong. So you have to make a choice. The only way out of this pain and this mental trial, it's spiritual, is to say, Lord, your will be done. So you could go through this right here and not be a trial, and you get your kid and everything. It's just, that's just the way it is. That's the way the system works. But I have learned through trials, you don't never know what God's going to do, what he's going to allow for your good. So we don't get bitter at God, because it's always for our good. But when the Lord will allow a situation to twist, just like that, just today, and let me know they're up to something. Okay, normally that wouldn't matter. But then he will allow the enemy to come in at you with lies that are stronger than normal. Listen, the devil can lie to us, but you don't understand something. He could, if it wasn't for God, he could tell you one lie and your brain would go to squash. That's how strong he is. He can allow the levels of lies that he lies to us. And they're so strong that we have to figure out what we're going to do, because it's bigger than you. This lie is bigger than you. So you have to say, God, your will be done no matter what. And it makes me even care that much more. I don't care what people think. I don't care if the devil makes me look stupid. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. That's the only way I can keep my peace. If I did not do it this way, and I started thinking of all kinds of different things, and think, guess what? I would go down to a deep mental trial. But see, I've done learned now. I've been through this stuff. I got to say, Lord, your will be done no matter what. If it's pain or joy, your will be done. No, I do personally believe this is just allowed by God. If it wasn't for the lies of the enemy in my mind, And that's the key. See, the Lord will allow this. And these are trials. These are trials. We all go through trials. The lies that come at you, if the lies wasn't there, there wouldn't be a trial. The Lord allows the lies of the devil to have levels to them. So I'm going to tell you something. The devil can lie to you and you be a man and without God, nowhere say he didn't exist, and you think you a woman. Just like that. That's how strong. He will allow levels up to where you're at. And the lies are bigger than you most of the time. So you have to, by faith, you feel all that negativity. You feel like you believe it. Matter of fact, it feels like you believe this. But you got to speak out your mouth, Lord, your will be done. Or if he's trying to tell you you're not saved, and it's bigger than you. You feel like you believe that. That's the lie. It's bigger than you. You have to say, I refuse to believe that because I'm saved by faith. I'm saved by grace through faith. You got to understand. You got to stand, having done all, stand on the truth. And it hurts. Trials bring the things out of us that need to come out. I'm just giving y'all a personal thing I just went through. So you see what I'm saying? How these trials are deep spiritual places. They are what grow us up. They are what test your faith. They are what makes you who you are. They mature you. They make you wise. But I'm going to tell you something. We know this. Let me tell you, when it really comes down to it, our hope, here's the ultimate hope, is to be with him one day. If you're sitting in prison and you're never getting out and you're getting beat every day, you have no hope on this earth, would you? Yes, you do. I'm going home one day. I'm going home one day. See, there's always hope. There's always hope. I'm talking about, and there are people that's been in jail 20 and 30 years in other countries that are saved. How do you think they hang on to their mental sanity? God, if they're in there, God's allowing it. Their hope is going home. It draws you closer to him. When it comes down to it, they make you desire him over anything in this world. This only happens through trials. It only happens through trials. It molds a heart like that. But y'all be praying for me because it is a trial. It's been a trial for years now with this. And you think you home running and then they're going to try to do something. But see, I know God. I know the Lord. I don't know what God might allow to grow me up. I've done learned something. He's turning me into something. And it takes things to make me grow, to use my faith, to reach out to him and not anything else. So, in order not to go back and forth, that's the battle. Going to get them, not going to get them. Going to get them, because I know God can do whichever one he wants. We can't never say that's God's will. We don't know for sure, because I've done been there and through them kind of trials, and they bring things out of you. They pull things out of you. And this is a deep trial. I understand that. But the thing is, I'm not going to sit here and allow the devil for 2 months to get me to go back and forth, back and forth. I'm not going to do it. I refuse to do that. I've done grown through that enough to where I know your will be done. Every time it hits me, your will be done. As long as your will's done, I know that's going to happen. I know that's going to happen for sure. Your will's going to be done for sure. I know that. That right there is what I hang on to. And I know some people don't understand this kind of a trial. But if you've been through some things like this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're going through something like that right now, going to help you. Just letting you know, I've always pretty much, my life for the last 5 years, the Lord told me to be open, to be a blessing, to lay my life out in front of everybody. Even back when I was messing up about every, 3, 4, 6 months, in 2 years, y'all know why I ain't got my kids. And it's been a year now, but for 2 years, probably 4 times I messed up and done drugs. And I was saved, loved God, yes. That's why I can't judge nobody. There ain't none of us can say nothing because we are all capable of sin. And the thing about this is we all have different lusts. See, my strength might be your weakness. So we can't really judge. But what we do judge is this. The doctrine. Now, we don't have to go around calling out hypocrites, but you'll know them by the fruit they bear. That means the heart. The things they do to hurt people. A Christian don't do that. You could be a child of God and struggling with something today. And I'm going to tell you something. The Lord's going to let me know, and I know. Most Christians are struggling with sin today. I've been there. I know what that's like. Don't you let go of the Lord. You keep believing God and ask Him to deliver you. Keep believing, asking for deliverance. He will deliver. That's gone. That was my prayer for 7 years. The drinking left. Then that left. But it was a prayer, and it was a fight of faith. I got to the place where I knew I was saved, but it was not attached to my salvation. See, I didn't have nothing but Jesus because it looked like my flesh, my sin looked so evil to me. I hated it. I broke down. It broke me down. I had nothing but Jesus. Same thing with this situation. That's where I've learned you say God's will be done. Because you know that's going to be. It's different than what people say. I decree and I declare it is. You don't know what God's will is. See, that comes through growing in God. What happens if you do that and it don't happen? After a while, you might want to quit doing that. Because you're going to see something. God does have a will. He does have a way. And His ways are higher than ours. And we can't grasp His ways. We have His Word. And we grow through trials in relationship with Him. And we're all in different places. Every one of us. But He wants to use every one of us to help each other. The number one thing that I live for is to be a blessing. That's the number one thing. To be a blessing. My life's hard, mentally. Has been for 12 years. But I have great joy. But I have these things, and you know, God could have took this a long time ago, but He hasn't. But who I am today is because of it. And I actually thank God for it. It keeps me passionate about God. To the point to where it's noticeable. To the point to where I have things that come from this stuff. Don't y'all think I want to be totally free from this and married? I might never get married. I put that in God's hands. I'm 41. I might not. See, God has a will. And I've done learned something. It might not be His will. And I've done learned I want to be in His will. And another thing, He's kept me from connecting with anybody. He keeps me from making mistakes. But the thing is, this trial here is just, you can place it in anything you go through in your mind. The lies of the devil. Really, the only understanding you need, when you get to a place to where you're happy with whatever God's will is, then that's a mature place to be, because only trials get you there. See, before, if I didn't have this, and this, and drive that, I wasn't happy. I've been saved 20 years, but what I'm saying is I have grown through all this stuff to where I care about God's will. So do not forsake trials and chastisement. If you're going to be used by God, you're going to go through things. People are going to judge you. You love God with all your heart, and people are going to see something you fall to, and they're going to judge you. And you got to get to where you don't care what they think. And the devil's really good at blowing it up in front of everybody, and then they'll lie and all this extra stuff too. But God bless you. I wanted to explain this trial. There are levels to what He allows, but He will not allow something you can't bear. Thing is, it sure feels like we can't bear it, don't it? See, we don't know that He's going to lift us up, though. Maybe the next day after. We don't know when He's going to lift you up so you can bear it. It's all about growing in God and being what He wants you to be. Will you be the tool He wants you to be in the kingdom of God? The more that's required of you, the more is it going to be expected of you. But anyways, God bless you all.